Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Limbro. My name is Lyndon. I'm going to be updating you on what has happened these past couple of weeks and months. So yeah, a lot has happened. I just finished my workout. As you can see, I'm a bit sweaty. But yeah, so essentially the reason why I haven't been uploading videos lately is because as a business owner, you sort of have to do everything yourself. So you have to do the marketing, you have to do sales, you have to do, if you are creating a software company or a tech company, you have to be the engineer that does all the work with your initial clients. Because if you are going to get people on your team, you're going to have some sort of incentive to sort of get them working for you. And yeah, that requires a lot of money. So yeah, at the start, when you're building, you sort of have to do everything yourself. It's exhausting, but it's also fulfilling, because if you're the type of person that likes to do a lot of things and has a lot of interests, then tendencies are that you're probably more likely to be an entrepreneur. And you know, you shouldn't let anyone pigeonhole you to one area, because you might have so many interests that you want to pursue all of them. But at the start, you have to focus on one area, because when you focus on one area, then you know you try to figure out if that area is going to be fruitful or not. And when you've tested that idea, tested it multiple times, then you can figure out is it worth going down that path and pursuing that path. And if it's not, if you've been at it for a while, for a couple of years, and then you don't see any progress, then you could try pivoting to a different industry. But the thing is, the most important thing is not to quit, because the moment you quit is the moment you fail. Because sometimes growth, well, a lot of the times actually, growth is usually exponential. And what exponential is basically, the graph is basically flat line in the initial few years and initial start. And it gets to a point where, you see that exponential curve. And sometimes that could be a detriment to, entrepreneurs, because they're not ready for that exponential growth. They're not ready for that scale. And in my case, it's sort of like I ended up starting to get more clients than the capacity that I could sort of. So I had more demand than supply. So the amount of work that I could do, was basically drowned out by the amount of people wanting to do the work for me. So I decided I really need a team. And basically, I was reading this book. Let me get this focus. Yeah, okay. That's why I have a bookshelf, because, if you want to learn, and if you want to shortcut the amount of mistakes made, then you learn from other people's mistakes, instead of, you make your own mistakes, but you also shortcut your progress by learning from other people's mistakes. And reading this book, which I just, well, let me show you properly. This book, which I've recently picked up from the bookstore, says more important than money, an entrepreneur's team. And essentially, I'll read you the first couple of pages. So I'll read you the introduction. Introduction, Robert Kiyosaki. So a few months ago, I was talking to my doctor, who proudly told me I'm a millionaire. I finally made over $1 million. I congratulated him, and since we are close friends, I felt comfortable. I congratulated him, and since we are close friends, I felt comfortable asking, "How much did you pay in taxes?" "About 700,000, he replied sheepishly. "That's a lot of money," I said, choking and gagging. "Well, how much do you pay in taxes?" he asked. "I know you make more than I do." I pay a lot less than $700,000, I replied, "and I do make more than you do, quite a bit more. Yet what I hand over to Uncle Sam is significantly less." What do you suggest I do? He asked. Fire your accountant. So, bad advice. I have had to fire many accountants, attorneys, CEOs, presidents, and other so-called professional advisors over the year. I have had accountants and attorneys from prestigious big-name firms who were hopeless. So I meant what I said when I told my doctor, fire your accountant. If you have read my other books, you know I often write about the importance of having a team. In this book, you will hear from my team. They are the real deal. The Rich Dad advisors, along with other entrepreneurs on the Rich Dad team, will share their experiences. Will share their expertise as well as the successes, challenges, and failures of being an entrepreneur. My team is much more important than money because without them, I probably would not have any money. So that's the reason why these past few weeks and months, I've been trying to build up my team. So at the moment, basically have a team of 4 people. So me and my co-founder, who finances the company. So he essentially at the moment, because cash flow is sort of up and down, up and down, up and down, he sort of supplements our cash flow by personally investing into our company. So and he also helps with the management of the company because since he studied business, he's helping a lot on that. Also, I'm getting on another team member who I'm getting to be the tech guy of the team. And last few weeks I was getting him to set up our CI/CD environment. So what CI/CD is continuous integration, continuous deployment, and which means instead of having to manually do a lot of the processes involved in software development, you sort of create a system and process where everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things are automated. For example, the tests, the deployments, and the say pushing the code or software to the live servers after you've updated changes to the code base. CI/CD automates all of that, so it decreases the amount of time you have to sort of do a lot of things manually. So I'm getting him to set up that environment, and essentially I could do that myself, but but the thing is, a company can't survive without a team. So I can work in the business, but eventually I'm going to have to work on the business to expand the business. So essentially, here's the second guy on the team. The third guy on the team is basically graphics designer, because basically most of us are engineers, and we don't really have an eye for, say, the graphic design. And if we were to get when we are getting web design web page based projects, then we could do the software programming. And if they want a theme that is off the shelf, like, we can basically just download an off the shelf theme and just put in all the pictures and assets and all that kind of stuff for them. But if it's anything to do with custom themes and custom assets and all that, then we could learn how to do it ourselves, but it's better to have a dedicated graphics designer on board. So that's what we've done. We've taken on a graphics designer. There's me, who's basically trying to do everything, but now I'm sort of abstracting myself from the business and trying to get more people so that we can help the business grow. Then last night I visited my my friend's house, because his sister basically edits videos. And so basically I'm getting her to edit some of my videos, and the business that I'm running now, we're sort of setting up a promotional video. So this video right here is going to be probably unedited and basically raw, because I just want to update you guys on what's been happening and that. But the video that I'm going to be editing for the business would be a promotional video that we use for ads. The thing is, I'm going to start pushing to promote my business, because the thing is, you can have a great product, you can have a great service, you can have all sorts of things. You can set up your business and have all the infrastructure in place. But if you don't have any customers, then you're not going to get any cash flow in, and cash flow is basically the bloodline of the business. Yeah, so essentially, what I've been doing lately was like, we're designing business cards so that we can hand out business cards to businesses. We're gonna start doing flyers, and I'm writing up my sales pitch so that I can sort of have some sort of rough sales pitch to pitch to clients, and then adjust it along the way depending on each client that we meet, right? Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And also so I'm going to try to look for as much possible avenues to get us out there. So what we'll do is we'll probably narrow down specific businesses and figure out, is this business in specifically the customer that we're looking for, because we can't provide our services to every single person. It's just like, for example, a car business sells cars, but then a family wants a family car. A wealthy person wants a sports car. A tradie wants one of the utes, right? You can't have a car that's you can't have a car that's a ute, that's a sports car, that's a family car, all in one. You have to provide specifically for that specific business, which means that, say, if you want a cheap car, or like a cheap but high quality car, you go to something to a company like Toyota, or Honda or Nissan. But if you want a premium car, you probably buy a Porsche, or you go to, say, one of the Ferrari. You wouldn't go to Ferrari and expect them to sell you a really cheap car, because that's not their business model. So yeah, we're refining who our customers are, and figuring out who are we going to target. So yeah, that's the what we're going to do. Now, yeah, there's a lot also personally in my life. There's a lot that has happened these past few weeks, which I won't really discuss in detail. Like, a lot has happened in our family, and that made me realize that life is so short. So I'm actually going to start pushing for getting out there, and I'm gonna try to be less complacent, because before, my mentality was, oh, there's always tomorrow, I could always do it tomorrow. But life is short, and you got to do what you got to do, and you shouldn't have any regrets. If you want to do something, you better do it. Like, you have to ask yourself the question, what's the worst that can happen, right? What's the worst that can happen? If you've got nothing to lose, then you might as well go and achieve it, right? And yeah, anyways, that's my updates for today. If you like the video, subscribe. So my call to action today is, if you're new on this channel, I basically make videos about my life and my progress. So there's a lot of mixed content on here, but eventually I'm going to niche it down to the progression of my life, and how I'm going, and ups and downs, because eventually, whether or not I become successful or not, at least you guys can see sort of like, have some sort of a roadmap. Because sometimes there's a lot of people that want to become entrepreneurs, or want to they want to do something. They have high goals, high aspirations. They want to be entrepreneurs, they want to be business people, they want to change the world, but they don't know how to go about it. And every time someone goes at a new opportunity, there's no predefined rules or predefined steps that they need to take, because everyone's path is different. But there is patterns to success. There is things things that you can imitate, things that you can follow, things that you can learn from to sort of shortcut or shorten that learning curve, because you can make a lot of mistakes, right? But if you can learn from other people's mistakes, like the smart person learns from other people's mistakes and applies them and tries not to make those same mistakes. But the thing is, you will make mistakes, but you'll make different mistakes, and that will sort of be like advancements. And there was a saying where uh, the great, or you are not great. You're just standing on the shoulders of greatness. So you need to leverage that, but just know that you didn't become successful because of your own success. You got successful because of the people previously that you leverage the knowledge from. Like, you read books, you get knowledge from people, you get knowledge from your parents, you get knowledge from past generations. They pass it on to you, and basically it shortcuts your success. Like someone who starts from scratch, they're going to have to work much more harder than someone that already has a head start, because they were, say, they're a good upbringing. But the good thing about coming from scratch is that you have tendency is that if you are willing, you're going to be hardworking, and you're going to have that hustle in you, because one, you've got nothing to lose, and two, because you've got nothing to lose, you're also not complacent, and you're also not spoilt by having having things, and that makes you hungry. That makes you want to achieve things, right? But if you already have resources at your hands, if you have a lot of if you have everything on your plate, you tend to become complacent. You tend to say, oh, I don't have to work hard because my life is easy already, right? That's why there's a lot of uh, innovation happening in Africa, because they're starting from scratch comparing to Western countries, and yeah, a lot of people are working hard to become entrepreneurs over there, right? And even in third world countries, they're working hard because that's the only thing that they have left. Like, it's either that or um, there's no opportunity, and they end up having nothing to eat, and that's basically food on the table. Um, so yeah, I would consider myself privileged, right? Because I have all that foundation. Um, but the thing is, people get given blessings, and people are start at a certain starting point, right? So there's a saying, uh, it's not your fault if you're poor, but it's your fault if you die poor. So it depends on what you do with your life, right? So you have to use the whatever you have and work with whatever you have and build on that. And yeah, and you know, as long as you keep trying, never stop trying. Just never stop trying. If something's not working, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So if something's not working, try something different. But on the flip side of the coin, you don't want to keep pivoting, and you don't want to keep changing what you do because of being impatient for seeing the results of something. So you have to have a level of patience on what you're trying to achieve. But the thing is, if the market tells you, if you get feedback from the market, and the market tells you, oh, what you're doing is there's no progress, or what you're doing um, is not viable, right? Then you have to pivot, because the thing is, there's a lot of companies that have pivoted. Like Amazon, they started selling books, and now they sell more than books. They sell software. They sell software. They have like the eBay of everything, So um, yeah, so they pivoted, and Facebook has a lot of subsidiary businesses, and Elon Musk is doing a lot of uh, different businesses as well. And he started off as a software company, and then he with the the revenue that he sort of gained from those software companies, because from when he exited and sold his shares, he I heard that, so when he sold his shares for PayPal, he had $180 million, right? And then he spent 100 million of that 180 million for SpaceX, 70 million for Tesla, and 10 million for SolarCity. I think those were the rough numbers, but the thing is, he earns the money, and any normal person would have just retired and just went to the beach and just relax and retired, right? But then he's basically the rare type of person that just he invested back the money that he earned, put it back into businesses, and then now he's a multi-billionaire. The thing is, he never stopped. He just kept on going, and those times when they thought the company was going to collapse, but he just kept on going. So you have to have the mentality of that. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling sort of depressed or stressed or whatnot because of the current situation, COVID, lockdowns, not enough opportunities out there, not enough jobs. The thing is, there's not enough jobs. If there's no one that wants to make any businesses, if there's no entrepreneurs out there, there's no jobs, right? Governments don't make jobs. It's entrepreneurs that make jobs. Governments make artificial jobs, but that's based on the taxation system, and the taxation system gets money from elsewhere. They get money from the people that work from companies, actual companies, and they also tax companies as well. But the thing is, those companies have to exist in the first place for the government to be able to tax them. So, if you want to help people there, like if you want to help people out of poverty, right? There's a saying: don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish, right? So I would encourage people, if you have an idea, if you're you have to have employees and you have to have business owners. You have to have plumbers, you have to have electricians, you have to have carpenters. They have to exist, right? Not everyone can be an entrepreneur, but if you have an idea, go for it. You have to go for it because it's not just yourself that you're helping; it's other people too. You're the cog that sort of makes the country, the economy run and supports everyone that has a job. Because in the next 5-10 years, if your business becomes successful, then you end up helping other people by giving them a job, by giving them an opportunity, right? But like I said, not everyone is supposed to be an entrepreneur. Some people are meant to just be employees because they don't have the desire to become an entrepreneur. But if you have a desire to do something much more, if you have that desire, I encourage you to become an entrepreneur, right? Some people do it for selfish reasons because they want to get wealthy, right? But then I think one of the best reasons why to become an entrepreneur is to create opportunities not just for yourself but for other people. Oh, anyways, this is my update for today. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be updating you guys on the new business. So we're still setting up the website, and I'll probably plug that in future videos once that's ready and once we have it properly set up. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy your day. This is Lyndon from Lynbruv, and I'll see you soon.